So we're back. We're going to do the warrior quest instead of the next main quest, so we can get some gear, or at least a little bit. Welcome again, my friend. I was wondering when your travels would bring you back this way. It just so happens that I have some exciting news. I finally uncovered the clues pertaining to the whereabouts of the lost armor of my ancestors. As it turns out, after the fallen hero cast the 5 pieces from the mountaintop, 5 of his pupils set out to recover them, intending to restore their master's name. What is more, they were actually successful in this search. However, when it came to the reuniting the set, the armor's great power began to work upon their minds, and no one could bring himself to relinquish his piece. Realizing then that their master's fatal pride was born of the artifact's combined influence, the pupils resolved to keep the pieces separate and to share between the 5 the power that might otherwise have consumed one. Thus did each of them carve his own place in history. The chronicles go on to say that years later, prior to the death of each of the pupils, returned to the scene of his own greatest victory, and buried that artifact in his possession in a final attempt to prevent any one of the warrior from holding the set, and it is there that the pieces still rest. You may be interested to know that the armor I wear is itself a replica of the set crafted by my ancestors, identical in all respects save for its lack of arcane enchantments that adorn the original. I know that you may be thinking, if we were to bring the 5 pieces together once more, what would prevent us from being corrupted in the same fashion? Well, I've thought of that. What we need only is trace the runes we find to onto the armor, onto every piece of the great warrior. What? That way, there would be no need to worry about a single proud fool becoming drunk on his all-surpassing power, as every warrior in the realm would be possessed of the self-same might. It's quite brilliant, if I do say so myself. So how about we split up and begin the search straight away? 3 of the locations seem quite self-evident. I would entrust the search there to you while I track down the other 2 with the tome in hand. 1 piece is said to be buried under the great rocks of Boulder Downs in Corthus, while another slumbers peacefully at Camp Tranquil in the South Shroud. The last of the 3 rests untouched at Parata's Peace in Western Thanalin. Unearth those 3 relics and bring them to me. With any measure of fortune, I'll have tracked down the remaining 2 by the time of your return. So we just come across a hunting log thing, might as well take it on. We need heaps of them. Bloody hell. must be another one. Oh, there's one over there. And some more of those. Bit of payback. Okay, so here we are. Let's see if we can't sneak in. Now I know there's an enemy that spawns and they're up there, so I'm going to try and fight them up there to avoid enlisting the ire of the mud puppies. Alright, we get the first piece of gear. Now you don't get the full set. You get the last piece at the level 50 quest. But because time has progressed significantly since this originally came out, you actually get another complete set of armor as well, which is item level 40, item level 90, while this is item level 50. I want to avoid the stroppers if I can. Bring this guy over here. There we go. Okay, yet another piece of armor. And the boots. And there we go. So as you can see, it was a fairly straightforward quest. How fares your search, Scarlett? Have you found aught of my tribe's ancient relics? Should you have the 3 pieces of armor, don them and show them to me. Ah, Scarlett, that you found the gear is most gratifying, but what I would truly fancy would be to see you in it. But I'm in it. Wait, stand still for a moment. The armor so becomes you that I could not tell you had it on at first glance. But now I can have no doubt. I sense the power of the runes inscribed on each piece resonating with your soul crystal. This is the long-lost armor of the warrior. I too have found one of the relics, but I have run into an unexpected rub. Where I donned the piece, I felt nothing, as if the lost treasure were no different from an unadorned replicas already in my possession. Whether the power has been lost to it, or it must needs be awakened by means yet unknown to me, this I cannot say. The ancient text still holds many mysteries beyond my ability to decipher. But before I forget, I should mention to you that I did indeed track down another piece before I was waylaid by this current conundrum. You should find it sealed away at Red Mantis Falls. Yeah, this gear we're collecting basically looks like the stuff that he's wearing already. Oh, we got the helmet, of course. How can you forget? Actually, yeah, no, it is better. Yep. We just don't get any material slots. We're going to trade that in for seals when we can finally do that. But just to give you a look, as you can see, it kind of looks like his armor. Curious George's armor. Is there any? Yeah, look at that. You can also do that if we just keep that on for a second. That's what the visor emote is. If you hadn't known. Kind of cool. I personally just, there are only very few instances where I actually use the helmet. Anyway, back to Curious George. I see your search was a fruitful one. I am pleased to say I have also gleaned some insight into why the armor I found seemed devoid of power. As I alluded to, the Ancient Warrior's armor derives its power from a concordance between the incantations engraved on the steel itself and the inner beast of the wearer. But my own resonance with the plating was too weak as to allow a proper connection with it. And now I think I know why. My soul crystal. It once burned bright like yours, but since the events at Wineport, it has been reduced to a lifeless husk. Why this happened, I cannot say. But the tome is quite clear about what would happen were the powers of the armor to be bestowed upon one whose soul is weak. The inner beast would devour the mind of the wearer, who would go on a mindless rampage that would end only with the mercy of death. Yes, not unlike the crazed fiends we battle. I believe that the armor sensed my weakened state, foresaw the potential danger, and then knowingly shut off its power to me. And I dare say we are fortunate that it did. I feel as though an apology is in order at this juncture. I must tell you, I left this final piece of armor where I found it. The breastplate, as the piece closest to the warrior's heart, has powers far greater and more dangerous than other pieces. Uncertain as I was to the reason for my being unable to connect with the plate's mystical energy, I feared to take it would mean impaling both myself and those around me. Your soul may burn stronger than mine, yet still I worry for your fate. Were you to put it on, Look deep within yourself, Scarlett. When you feel yourself ready, and only then, come speak to me again. There's actually a quest before that to get Steel Cyclone, so let's hit that up as well. You would truly seek the ultimate relic of my people, the armor that could consume the very soul of the most puissant warrior? Very well. If you are truly convinced of your readiness, I will not be the one to stand in your way. But I beg of you, Scarlett, the moment you feel yourself losing control and your inner beast overcoming you, cast this armor aside. Cast it from the highest mountain or into the depths of the ocean. I cannot. For once the beast consumes your soul, there is no going back. You will rage on a monster. Leaving naught but carnage in your wake. The realm will bleed and history will repeat itself. I cannot allow this to happen. No, my people have been shunned long enough. I would see the coming of a new age, in which warriors protect the weak and are loved and admired by the people of the realm. My years of battle and sleepless nights spent poring over the ancient texts, all has been for this day. Brother, I know not where the fate has led you, and yet I feel certain that in spirit you stand with me today. Together we will restore the honor of our people. You must forgive me my sentiments, Scarlett. As I said, this has been long time coming. The breastplate you seek is in the highlands of Corthus, at the spring they call Weeping Saint. I will stay behind. The events at Wineport still weigh heavy on my heart. Now this should be the chest piece. I actually thought the chest piece you didn't get till level 50. But I could be thinking about something else. Hand over the breastplate, Scarlett. After much wrestling with the thought, I simply cannot entrust such a relic to an outsider who may be overwhelmed by its power. I now return now to Hidden Falls. If you would have words with me then, come. I will not run away. Okay, maybe we don't. Scarlett, I am sorry. I did not mean for things to happen like this, but I had no choice. I have wrestled long and hard with the matter, but this is my decision. I cannot trust you with this power when I do not even trust myself. Aye, that's right. I won't attempt to don the plate again, either, nor will anyone. Not until I have proof there is one with a will strong enough to withstand the beast's siren's call. Peer deep within your soul, Scarlett. Peer into the eyes of the beast that stares back at you. Can you truly say that you can engage the monster in battle and emerge victorious? I shall return to the tome. If there are any answers to be found, they lie within those pages. In the meantime, continue your training, that you might find an answer of your own. Yep, and then the next one's at 50. And you get the rest of the gear that we were assembling. This, which gives you your eye level 90 gear and another ability. But yes. Okay. We'll head over to Thanalon again. Rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Scarlett. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defences of an Imperial castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that Castrum's Sentry houses prisoners whom the Guardians deem valuable, we may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist in this. Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He is stationed at Observatorium in Corthus. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. Oops. Ah, Scarlett, the woman who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You are an associate of Y'shtola, but of course. Lord Drillamon confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Castrum's Sentry? What interest have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum, a Huron woman, an Elzen man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male, 1 female. It's them. It has to be. Benfilia, Uriange, Papalima, and Tataru. If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Corthus not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Rogadin and a Lalafell, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogadin and a Lalafell, Master Garland. Neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue, hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Scarlett, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they have captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I'd fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, is an endeavour that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see the comrades again, you had best act now. If, as has been suggested, the Guardians took our fellow Scions prisoner in the hopes of understanding the Echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the Echo. As Lord Portelaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. These stand the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work, but all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last we have the power to purchase land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of the Eorzeal the security and stability they so desperately crave, and in which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord. Rest assured, our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Rithathian, you depart for Castrum Occidens at midnight. You will command the western front in Vildebrand. The Iosians will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command on half of half of our forces to it? I've given you nothing, praefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters, 1 hour. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Gallian activity along the Abelathan spine. Owing to this, I have the honour of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of Imperial airships' emergency landing came to us by the Waves Mail Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Reselt, may be able to tell you more. So, as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant your strength. I don't know if this dungeon is part of my story. You stand before Zmail Darkhold, a subterranean fortress excavated by the Great Ishgarian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. Oh, maybe we are. A letter from Lord Portalane. So you've come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captives are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Aurum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Perimons. He should be able to assist you. Yeah, okay. I am right. The Imperial airship? Aye, I saw it approach to land with mine own eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. I think we'll call it there, because I know the next thing is like a solo duty, and I don't want to go too far over time. Alright, with that, we will call it. Next time we're going to do Footprints in the Snow. The level will probably change. Because every time I record, I do try to get at least 1 or 2 dungeons into level. Because we're at 46, which is effectively the level of the last main story. So we want to get to try and get closer to 49, so that there's no like massive gap, which is what you want to try and do as well if you play. Because yeah, this is massive level gap. Anyway, with that, we'll catch you next time. Catch you later.